Now I want a piece of the action. Think of the bear, there's a pub at the top, think of the bear.
Having previously ticked off a bucket list item, I had no idea I might be doing it again.
Why are we here? Back in Johannesburg?
I never came in the first place, which is the problem. I got serious FOMO when I watched the series with you and Nick and Jace.
Oh mate, well done.
And now I want a piece of the action, please. I really want to do Sani Pass, but there's also part of me that really doesn't want to.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Oh, shit. You okay, Gorge? Think of the pub. Think of the bear. There's a pub at the top. Think of the bear. But I think I really want to do it because it's like, well, it's Sani Pass. It's like infamously famous. I don't even know if that's a phrase you can use. It's pretty infamous.
And are you going to make me do it again?
I'm possibly going to make you do it twice and I might walk.
I should have been suspicious when maps and books started appearing after I got back from riding the Sani Pass with the boys. There was a definite glint in Steff's eye. I was pretty certain I knew what was going to be suggested. And sure enough, before I'd even had a chance to say, "Are you sure?" or "Is this a good idea?" we were back in Johannesburg.
We thought we'd give you a quick tour around our £34 a night accommodation in Joburg while we're waiting for the bikes and sorting all that sort of stuff out. Here is the seating area. Settee, TV, little dressing area. Here's Madam.
On the tiny bed.
On the massive bed. His and hers sinks. Big freestanding bath. I'm not sure if you can hear my voice echoing. That's how big it is. Toilet and shower. The only snag is from the toilet. I'll go by the toilet. is
Take an open plan quite seriously.
yeah. They've taken open plan very seriously, so we've worked out a code when one of us might need to leave the room for a bit of privacy. But other than that, here's our room.
We had arrived without a plan. Other, of course, than Steff conquering Sani before this legendary pass was lost under a layer of tarmac. Now we'd planned to squeeze so much more into this adventure before that. So with some beers, some books and some maps, we made the first stage of the plan to get out of the city.
Alright, we are off to see what bikes.
See what bikes we've rented.
See what they're... We think we know.
We're pretty sure we've got a KLR and a Tenere 660, but...
Yeah. So
Let's
we'll
go
soon
see.
find out. Anyway, we're going to go and try and fit our luggage and cameramans and all the rest of it. We'll go and see what he's got. See you soon. Right, well, we came here and this morning we were a bit unsure about what we were going to find and what bikes and all the rest of it. Anyway, Marco, genius, absolutely genius. So he's got us this bike, we'll show you in a second, but he's got us this bike pretty much bought specially for us. I know you're going to rent it out afterwards.
Well, eventually I was going to get an extra single cylinder, but you enticed me to do this. And I'm so glad to know that Steff is going to ride it.
So this is Steff's bike.
Yeah, it was a bit rough when I got it. I had to do a lot of... I spent over 10,000 rand to get it to where it is.
Whoa.
Screen. The rear carrier, new tyres, new chain, new sprocket, new everything.
So basically,
So I'm not making money off you guys.
How are we getting on with the setup, Simon?
they look in great mechanical order. And I think for what Steff and I want them for, they're going to be brilliant. However, this bondage strap thing, the jury's out at the minute.
I know this luggage system looks really weird, but it fits into a tiny little plastic bag and it turns any dry bag into a luggage system.
I've sort of been more useful than I normally am. I have managed to fit the tablet mounts to both bikes and, incredibly, the tank bags to both bikes. That's a whole lot more than I'm usually capable of doing.
We're just loading up the bikes in the garage, and there's one thing we did notice. The tyres are a bit on the road-biased side. We'll see how Sani Pass goes with these on. I'll be honest, they performed pretty much as they looked.
Thanks, Marco!
Okay, we've had a real fun palaver getting out of here. These bikes are so old that they're carburetors and...
See ya!
They're carburetted and they have chokes and all the rest of it. Steff and I are not used to that.
Good morning, lovely people.
Oh yeah, good morning, lovely people.
We are on our adventures in South Africa, Eswatini and Lesotho.
At last. So the first job was to get onto some fast roads and get out of Joburg, which is a pretty big, sprawling city. As we started to leave the city behind us, the landscape and the traffic was dominated by coal mining and coal mining vehicles. And it makes sense because we found out later that over 80% of South African electricity is provided by coal. We just popped the... I can't speak. We just
popped our cameras back on again because I think it's been about another 30 minutes riding through this same train, sort of heading in out from Joburg to Eswatini, and still just surrounded by coal mines and sort of never-ending streams of coal trucks and coal trains. It's a huge industry here, it seems.
It covers so much of the area we're riding through. Anyway, we'll stop boring you with coal mines now, but it is kind of fascinating in its own way. Or for us, anyway.
Yeah, because it's just not something we see very much of anymore in Europe, so it's interesting.
Well, lovely people, we thought we'd introduce our bikes, seeing as we're just on a bit of a transit phase. Mine is named Thumper. For obvious reasons, it thumps along. I think it's about 20 years old. We're not 100% sure on this one, but it's proper fun.
I am riding the beautiful Tingles, only recently named. We've been on the road for about an hour and a half, and boy oh boy have I got the tingles through my hands from the vibration. So the motorbike is christened Tingles for that reason. And
So
again, we think Tingles is from about 2000, so over 20 years old. Maybe 2004, something like that. And he is an XT600E.
And mine's an old school KLR. So that's it, lovely people.
that's the introductions to our bikes for this trip. Wow, there are some man-eating potholes in this road. What is going on here?
Literally some carnage. I wonder if it's an absolutely mega enormous pothole that we're all going around.
Yeah. It's not going to be a problem for Thumper and Tinkles.
I think they'll manage to get around it, but definitely looks like there's something to avoid.
Oh, wow.
This one might be the depth of the motorbikes.
Not entirely sure what it is. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a pothole and a half.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. That was a brilliant pothole.
And then you could have drowned in there.
Yeah. We just sat at the roadworks and it is hot. Obviously a pothole that grew too much.
Pothole that grew to be the whole road. And then a coal truck that broke down on the diversion.
On the diversion. Oh yeah. A diversion around the
So we've
diversion.
now got a diversion around the diversion, yep. Oh, we have unintentional gravel today anyway.
Yeah, we found a track. Do you reckon this counts as a track? I'm going to call it. Say it does.
I'd say it does.
So we thought we're not a million miles away from where we're going. We thought I'd turn the cameras on again to let you have a laugh at our fuel shenanigans. Neither of these bikes have fuel gauges, which is okay when you know your bike, but we haven't got a clue. So we're playing Russian roulette with fuel at the minute, and I've got 200 kilometers we've done so far. So I think we're okay, but basically we're going to ride for about 250 kilometers. Then there's a fuel station up here, and we're going to use that and see how much fuel we had left. So you never. That's our current topic of conversation. How much range do these bikes have, and a strategy to keep us from running out of fuel.
As we'll show later in our travels, our strategy was not always great.
Ah, shit. Okay, we'll see how much fuel is in the tank. So
Yeah, good point.
done about what, 250 kilometers, something like that.
220.
220. There's a bit of fuel in mine. And it was probably this fuel stop that got us a little bit blasé about not having fuel gauges on the bikes. So an update on the fuel situation was we are in good shape. So we did 220
Oh, have you
kilometers.
reset your trip meter? 'Cause
Yes, I have,
not.
yeah.
Wow, you are clever.
No worries, I've reset mine. Yeah, I did 220 kilometres, and Steff obviously the same, and we seem to have quite a decent amount of fuel left, so we can push it out to 250, maybe even 300, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty good range, obviously. So as we leave the petrol station and we're getting close to our destination, it's probably a good time to fill you in on the plan. And the plan was to head east towards Eswatini, which was a country we really wanted to visit. We'd got bikes, our luggage system was working, and our adventure was starting. Today had been a good day. Hello! How are you? We were so close to where we were staying for the night. But anyway, these guys were super friendly. Quick document check. That's funny, we got pulled over with 5 kilometers to go. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you! And with their curiosity satisfied, off we went to find our farm stay. We always knew that today was just about making a start, getting away from Johannesburg, and the adventures would start tomorrow and in the coming days. But actually, we'd had a really nice day, and we were beautifully positioned on the border of Eswatini for the adventures to start in earnest tomorrow.
Well, I'm very much loving the arrival track into the B&B.
Okay, that was awesome. We've been starved of tracks today.
And look at the surrounding landscape. I mean, it's just
I can see mountains through the trees.
absolutely blooming gorgeous here. I see many roses, and as it's called, rocks and roses.
Oh, yeah. Valid point.
I'm pretty sure we're at the right place.
Oh my god, this looks epic.
Oh my god, it looks
so cool.
good.
It's a pupster.
Yes. Hello. Will it squeeze in? Yeah.
Thought I'd give you a very quick tour of the farmhouse that we're staying in. Well, not so much the farmhouse, but our room. It's very cute. It was totally off grid. It's quite away from anywhere, but so they have all the electricity is solar, and the hot water is gas geyser. If anybody knows what that is, do tell me. But the cool thing is the water is piped straight into this bucket for a shower. And you stand in your bucket and get a roasting hot shower.
This farm stay was a brilliant find, and while we get settled in and we start doing some planning for tomorrow, we get some very welcome news from the owner. Steff and I have just come out for a little walk. She is here. There she is. Hello. But we thought we'd show you this because the lady who owns the farmhouse and the farm has said that tomorrow we can ride anywhere all over this land, and apparently there's a waterfall to go and find and a forest to go and ride through. It's going to be fun. I have high hopes.
Oh, God.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
What an amazingly generous offer. Our own playground, dirt tracks as far as the eye can see tomorrow. Let's hope the weather holds. See you tomorrow morning.